You're watching Adorama TV.
Welcome to Adorama TV iPad app reviews. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, sometimes you want your photos to be grunged up a little bit, and that's where the app Grungetastic comes in. It's a really simple application that's pretty powerful that allows you to do a lot of different grunge effects for your photos. So let's take a look at Grungetastic. Grungetastic HD, because clean photos are so yesterday. This is such a fun application. It's very simple. What you do is you go in and load in a photo. That's the first thing you're going to see. So I'm going to pull in a photo here of Brenda that we shot a couple days ago. And the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to render our Grungetastic image, and it grunges up the image sort of at random. Now, the fun part is at the very top right of the corner of the screen, there are some dice there. You hit those, and it's just going to just do a random Grungetastic effect. So you can just keep hitting that over and over to see what kind of fun stuff that you can get. And just by doing that, you can get some really interesting effects. But if you want more control, let me break it down for you. If you just tap on that, there's this menu bar down here. Now to get a photo in, obviously you would hit Get Photo, and then you could bring one in. We already have one, so we don't need to do that. And then next to that, there are some presets. Now these presets come in three flavors. There's Pop Grunge, and Pop Grunge really does sort of that cartoony outline look. There's Bleach Grunge, and what that does is it desaturates your image and then throws some texture on top of that. And then there's just Grunge, and what that does is it sort of leaves your photo alone and adds some texture on top of it. And so once you know those three things, what you can do is you can choose the one that most closely represents what you want to do. And then there are a bunch of presets in here. So we'll choose this one. This is number 8, and that's going to do this Grungetastic look. Now, I don't really like that, and I want to adjust it, so I can click my Adjust button right here, and you can see that we can start changing the tone of the image. So if I change that, it will either make it brighter or darker. I can change my threshold levels. It will do that. And based on which flavor of grunge that you started with, you have different controls. So let me go in here. If I go to my preset, go back to changing my style. If I do Pop Grunge, and I'll choose just one of these at random, it'll pop in here. You'll see that when I go to my adjustment layer, there we go, we have some different sliders here, so colors and the smoothness and the tones, and so you can start playing with those. So based on the three main styles, you'll have three main adjustment dialogues to play with. Now, one thing that's consistent for all of them is the overlay. And when I click that, you can see that there are all these different styles of overlay. So here's one that's sort of a splotchy paint kind of look. And once I choose that, it'll throw that on there. I can change the color of that. So let's make it more, more reddish. So I go down here and make it more red, and I'll apply it. And you'll see that that splotchy paint will become a little bit more red than it is that violet. There it is. Ooh, it's sort of looking like Carrie. So then I can go in and I can change the different overlays. Now the cool thing is that there are three different categories here. There's Grunge 1, Grunge 2, which are different overlays, and then there are some borders, so I can choose a really cool border like that. So you can really get in here and play and start making some unique images based on the presets, doing some adjustments and changing the overlay. Now once I'm done with that, then I can go in here and I can say, what was the original like? I can push and hold. You can see, oh, that's where I started and that's where I finished. Pretty dramatic change, so that's what that button does. And then you can just go down here and save this, and what you can do is you can save a preset. So if you like this look, you can just do this over and over without having to figure out how you did it the first time. You can save it to your camera roll, email it, you can throw it to Facebook, and then of course they're asking you to follow them on Facebook, and then there's some settings that you can change. So a lot of different ways to save these, and it's a very simple and fun application. Again, it's called Grungetastic. Well, Grungetastic's a lot of fun. With just a couple clicks or just running this fuzzy dice here, you can get all kinds of cool effects on your photos. Well, if you have an iPad app that you'd like me to take a look at, you can send your suggestion to AskMark at Adorama.com, and we might just review it here on the show. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again next time.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store, located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.